So that I've definitely, if I'm going to be honest, I had a moment like that in my junior year of college. I overwhelmed myself. I took too many classes in one semester, and like one of my science classes, it had like three classes involved with it. Like I had like a physics class, then I had like the lab for it, and then I also had this thing called resuscitation. I don't even know what that was. It was kind of like working on like these worksheets and like I don't know, something like that. So it was like three classes in one. Then I had four other classes. So I was taking seven classes in one semester. And I was overwhelming myself so much that like the first week, I was struggling with a certain class that I was in, and I was like driving home from school, and I promise you, I was like crying going home from school because I was thinking I don't know how I'm going to survive this semester for 3 or 4 months. I feel like I need to. I don't even know if I'm gonna even graduate. I just feel like I'm struggling here, and I'm ready to just quit school. So once I got home, I just really started to think like, you didn't come this far to just drop out. Like you're so close to being at graduation. Like I was going to be graduating the following year, like at the end of that year. And I was just thinking like you're so close. Like do not, let one struggle within a class like bring you down. And eventually I did get better at it. I was, better able to have, like you said, time management. And just because I was also dealing with my job too, I was working part time during the night as I went to school during the day. And just, being able to have time management, being able to put more effort into like, reading everything that I'm learning and, not just giving half effort or just giving, or like you said before, giving 110%, like not just giving 50% of your effort and just thinking I'm just going to slide by and barely pass this class and I'll be okay. Like I did used to have that attitude before I felt defeated in that moment. I used to think like, okay, as long as I get a passing grade, I'm good. But then I don't know. I didn't like that like kind of attitude that I had for myself because I was thinking, no, like you want to like if you want to be successful in life, like even like if you get a job after college, like you want to go over and beyond. Like you don't like they can somebody can set the bar for you, but like you want to set that bar and then some. Like you want to go over and beyond that, and you want to be one step ahead. And I think that defeating moment that I had driving home from school, definitely taught me a lot just within that moment that like you need to do better. Like this is a learning experience, and it's almost like I had to give myself tough love in a way. Like see, I just had to tell myself, well, you put yourself in this position, like you can either drop some of the classes and have to graduate like a semester after, or you can go on this head on and really like overcome this. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up overcoming it, and like I said, I ended up graduating the following year like I was hoping to. So it's just definitely sometimes failures can be a good, like I said, it's definitely a good thing. Like we've heard of plenty of celebrities that, or even people like, I feel like I heard something like Walt Disney like was rejected like plenty of times, and there's definitely plenty of actors out there that have been told no. And like I said, sometimes it success doesn't happen in your 20s and 30s. It happens in your 40s. Sometimes people don't get successful until they're at retirement age. Like I know there's plenty of people that reach a level of success that they're looking for at that age. So there's never a time limit when it comes to being successful. And so let's just definitely don't rush yourself. That's for sure when it comes to failures.
Definitely. And something I want to point out, I think we touched base a little bit earlier on, but like your success is personal. Again, don't let like family members saying you should be at this point or you should be doing this. University, I remember everybody saying like you should graduate within 4 years. Yes, you should graduate within 4 years. I was fortunate that I was able to graduate within 4 years, but I applaud people who were able to take that ambition or like make that change when they saw a major wasn't working for them instead of just pushing through and just getting a degree in a field they don't like. So like life is full of constant different battles and nuances, but like you should be setting your version of success for yourself and don't let other people's version of success dictate what yours is.
Very, very good point to make. Like it is a very personal thing when it comes to success. Everybody has a different goal. And I used to always like it always was a mind game with me when it came to success, when it came to I guess graduating from college. That was definitely something I definitely was guilty of falling into. I used to think like, I'm still here at a community college. I should have been done with this like within the first 2 years. And it was 5.5 years later that I finally got my associate's degree because I was trying to pay out of pocket, and it was going too slow. I was getting paid very little at my past job that I was working at. I was working part-time and I was barely making over minimum wage. So let's say it just was a struggle at that point. But then I started so just kind of fall into that, so just, kind of comparing myself to everybody else that's already graduated with their 4-year degree, and here I am not even getting my 2-year degree yet. And it took, I said, maybe a year and a half after these people have already graduated with their bachelor's degree before I got even my associate's degree. So I think I've definitely have fallen guilty to that, and that's kind of why I wanted to do an episode on success, because I know a lot of people could probably learn from like my failures, or or your failures, or just hearing about other people's stumbling blocks that they have gone through. And like I said, especially like with college, like so that's definitely could be a big challenge for sure.
100%.
And I like that you also mentioned about like your like about like family members, like making sure don't let your family members speak for you on like what success is, or like because I know there's definitely been a lot of expectations that parents put on their kids when it comes to like, oh, I want my son to grow up and be a doctor. Well, if you don't want to be a doctor, definitely don't go for it. If you feel like definitely if you want to be a doctor because your dad was a doctor and his dad was a doctor, or mom, definitely go for it. But if it's not in your heart, if it's not something you really want to pursue, then definitely go after, a different career. And let's just because you may not make as much money being a teacher as you would being a doctor, that doesn't mean that you're not successful. Success doesn't come in money form. It comes in like your personal preference, and it comes from the heart. And lesson that's all that matters at the end of the day, is you don't want to do a job or go to school for a major that you don't like. You don't want to be in a job just for the money. Like, I mean, yeah, the money may be nice, but like at the end of the day, like as we mentioned with celebrities, are you happy? And that's just definitely big. And I actually kind of, in a way, leads me to my last question, because I know we were talking about like having a time limit. And some people may think, oh, well, I have to graduate from college in 4 years. And started thinking of the idea of being like patient when it comes to being successful. Like I said, some people reach success later in life than others, and that's definitely okay. So there may be there definitely may be times where, of course, as we mentioned, where you may be told no, time after time, and it leads people to feeling defeated and wanting to give up. And that's where kind of patience comes into play. And with this, and after being told no, our patience can wear thin. We may want to give up on our goals. So I guess my last question would be, like, how important is it to stay patient even when you feel like you're getting nowhere near your goal of being successful?
It's a really good question. It's a really good question because you need to be patient, but you also need to be proactive and reactive with the results you're getting as well towards your goal. So I guess the question to that component, or the sub question would be, is are you taking the efficient actions? Like, are you taking the actions you're setting for yourself, the sub actions for yourself to achieve that success? Or is it a lack of trying or your aptitude on your part? Because if it's a lack of trying, then maybe that's not, again, the success point that you want to be setting for yourself. Maybe you should be pivoting and looking at something else. If it is a point where it's like you are trying, you're putting your best foot forward, you're meeting all these actions at like you're setting for yourself and your tasks. Maybe you don't have the right tasks or actions set for yourself. Maybe you have to take a step back and reevaluate what other people are doing in order to achieve whatever success you're looking at. Or maybe again, there's just so many different factors and nuances that go into it. But one thing I will say is being patient and waiting and like sitting and hoping for something to happen without taking action and like putting the effort into it, that's not going to lead you to your success. Like it ties back to what I was saying, 20/80. Like 20% of the way of that good luck is going to get you partially there, but the rest of it needs to be you.
Yeah, that's really true. Like I said, if you're, as yeah, just being patient and like doing nothing about it, not even putting no effort into reaching that goal, then like you said, you're not going to get very far. You're just going to be constantly going through the same thing. And I've actually, if I'm going to be honest, I went through that kind of thing. Like, after I graduated from college, I started trying to look for a full-time job, of course, and within my degree. And I remember it took me, I mean, I know a lot of people may say, oh, this didn't take too long, but it took me 5 months to get a full-time job, like within, at my current company, Coca-Cola. And but my patience was wearing thin, and I just started applying like anywhere and everywhere just to get out of my current job. And because I was only, I was 25 at that time, and I was barely making over minimum wage and get paid every other week, and no benefits or nothing like that. I just wanted to get into I say it was definitely a good job that got me through school, like through high school and college, because I worked there for 9 years throughout that whole process, because it took me 7.5 years to graduate and get my bachelor's degree from UAB.